Welcome to Longleaf Sheep Hill Ranch. Head mechanic Jeffrey is starting some repair work on the International 966. Okay, action.
Okay, so here is my International 966 tractor. So we got this a number of years ago and it was in pretty good mechanical shape, but kind of rough around the edges, and we've been fixing it up over the years. This is a real workhorse around the farm. We've got a dozer blade on the front of it, and I used it with a brown tree cutter on the back to do a lot of clearing of land, field improvements, all sorts of things. And it's in the shop. It needs some injector work, and it also has some leaks on the rear end, so we're going to be tackling that today. Okay, so here's obviously the rear end of the tractor, and there are some O-rings behind this pull arm attachment point, and they've probably never been changed in the life of the tractor, so they are starting to leak. And so what we're going to do is need to pull these pull arm, I think it's called a rock shaft, out of here. And to do that, it's got some stuff bolted to it on the inside. We've got to take off this PTO housing, and to do that we need to get rid of all the 3-point hitch attachment linkage stuff. So we're working on getting that all out of the way, and then we'll start removing these pull arm attachment points. So why is this thing leaking? The entire rear end here of this tractor is filled with hydraulic fluid, and there is a shaft that runs through this rear end housing, and so to keep the hydraulic fluid out, to keep the hydraulic fluid from leaking out, there are some O-rings. The reason the shaft runs through there is there's a linkage attached to the shaft inside the rear housing that actuates as part of the 3-point hitch draft control function. So the draft control works kind of like on a pulling force. So as a tractor goes along, if the pulling force gets greater, it will sense that by movement on these rock shaft attachment points, and it will actually raise the implement out of the ground slightly to reduce the pulling force, and then as pulling force gets less, it'll lower the implement back into the ground as you continue along. So it's very useful for subsoilers, plows, deep tillage type implements. But that's why it's got hydraulic fluid behind it. So we've got this sway eliminator bar here. It's attached with 2 pins, a pin on either side, and those pins are held in by these roll pins, which I put in years ago, and now they're probably rusted solid in there. So we're going to try to drive them out. All right, so the pin's totally out. Now we've got to get this thing to move. Luckily the nuts aren't on there too tightly.
Well, nuts running into something?
Yeah, the pins have to go out this way. Maybe do I not have to take it off? It looks like I do not have to take it off to get the PTO thing out. I just have to beat it down further maybe. All right.
Because you're trying to get this
big thing off, yes. But we want this thing and this thing we want to leave attached together. But we want to take the whole thing off the tractor as a unit. apparently there's 2 short bolts that you leave in, so that these bolts hold the housing to the tractor and they also hold it together. So these are the same length, but apparently there's 2 short ones that you leave in to keep the housing together. So maybe this is a short bolt. Yes, so here's a short bolt, so we leave this one in. Another long bolt. Another long bolt. One of these is going to be short bolt. Okay, long bolt. I think this is going to be a short bolt. Yes, short bolt, so we'll leave this one in. All right, so let's see here. And there's one way down in here I need an extension for. All right, this is also a short bolt, but an accepted short bolt. I think they're all, oh no, they're slightly different. All right, so this is okay. So these are the same, but slightly longer than these, because they must accommodate holding on. This thing, which I removed earlier. So this thing goes on like this, so this extra thickness is accommodated by these thicker bolts, or longer bolts.
What is that thing?
It's just a thing that holds the levers together that turn the PTO on and off. So when you pull this up, this is what turns the PTO on. It's a hydraulically actuated PTO. Same size. All right, and we'll see if we can. There we go.
You've already drained the oil out of this, right?
Correct.
Oh, well, that's what, water dripping out?
Yeah. Yeah. Not good. Took this cap off and looked in and everything. Shouldn't have been a bunch of water in there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why there would be water dripping out of it. Okay, and so supposedly this thing has this tube, oil pickup tube down into the bottom, so you kind of like pull it out and rock it up as you pull it out so you don't damage this tube. And supposedly it should just slip off the shaft that's connecting it to the engine. But that's why I took this cover off, so you can actually see down in there, you can see that shaft. Yeah, see right there is where it's attached. Let's see. Kind of right in the middle of the cameras.
That's the attachment point.
Yeah. Now there's oil dripping, so there's water underneath the oil. Which I'm not sure how. Probably just because it's been sitting out and been several years, but there's quite a bit of water in this hydraulic fluid in this tractor. So much so that it had emulsified the hydraulic fluid and plugged up the filter. see here. We want it way up here. All right.
Will we keep it?
Yeah, just keep it pressed up against the tractor to lose them. Okay. Let's see. Oh wow, okay.
What do you see?
So this shaft didn't. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Well, let's come out like this. All right, let's see here. Put that up there for safekeeping.
Now, what is that?
So that's the shaft that connects this PTO unit to the engine. So it came out of a coupler further in instead of right here, and then I disconnected it from right here to get out the way. Ah, okay. So here's that pickup tube that you gotta not screw up. So now you can wheel me backwards.
Okay. Going back a little bit.
All right, that's it. That was the PTO unit removed from the tractor. And so it picks up oil here from in the sump. Oh, and this is all loose, so that's a problem. So we can see if we can address that, I guess. And then there's a hydraulic pump here that powers everything. Well, it just powers the hydraulic circuit. And so when you pull up on this, it engages this clutch plaque here, which is probably needs to be rebuilt because that seems like a lot of slop to me. And then this is down here where the water was sitting down here. So when we cracked it open, some water drained out. And we're doing all of this to get to these bolts here, right here, that attach the this lever arm to this rock shaft across here. So whoever put this in last time maybe mashed on this and
Looks kind of
bent it up, and so yeah. All right, anyway, it is what it is. It's pretty heavy, but not super, super heavy. Okay. All right, so that should be fine.
In next week's video, we'll remove the rock shaft and discover why we're getting a hydraulic leak through here. Thanks for watching Longleaf Sheep Hill Ranch. See you next time.